In today's video, we explore the contentious divide between climate activists and those who label them as climate extremists. As climate activism gains momentum, the language surrounding these movements often fuels polarizing views and conflicts. We'll delve into how the media shapes perceptions, examine the alarming science behind climate urgency, and navigate the political and economic interests that color this debate. Join us as we seek to understand the importance of constructive dialogue in bridging the gaps between varying beliefs and opinions on this critical global issue. 1. The rise of climate activism. In recent years, climate activism has surged, with movements like Fridays for Future and Extinction Rebellion gaining traction worldwide. These groups, often led by passionate young people, demand urgent action to combat climate change. Their methods can be peaceful, such as marches and rallies, but they also include more disruptive tactics like blocking traffic. The aim is to raise awareness and push governments to act faster. However, these actions have sparked a debate about the right way to address the climate crisis. Is disruption necessary to bring about change, or does it alienate potential allies? 2. Understanding the language of extremism. The term extremist is often used to describe those who take radical measures to achieve their goals. In the context of climate activism, it can refer to individuals or groups who engage in direct action, sometimes breaking laws to make their point. The use of this language can be polarizing, as it paints activists in a negative light. It suggests they are irrational or dangerous, rather than passionate and determined. This language can create a barrier to understanding and cooperation, as it frames the issue as a battle between opposing sides. 3. The media's role in shaping perception. Media coverage plays a significant role in shaping public perceptions of climate activism. Sensational headlines and dramatic images often focus on the most extreme actions, overshadowing the broader message. This can lead to a skewed perception of the movement, making it seem more radical than it is. By highlighting confrontational tactics, media outlets may inadvertently reinforce the idea that climate activists are extremists rather than concerned citizens. This portrayal can influence public opinion and policy decisions, affecting the overall effectiveness of the movement. 4. The science behind the urgency. Climate activists often cite scientific reports to justify their urgent calls for action. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, the world must limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius to avoid catastrophic impacts. This requires reducing carbon emissions by nearly half by 2030. For activists, these numbers highlight the need for immediate and drastic measures. However, critics argue that such targets are unrealistic and could harm economic growth. The debate is not just about the science but also about the feasibility of proposed solutions. 5. Political divides and ideological differences. Climate change is a deeply political issue, with different parties and ideologies offering varied solutions. Conservatives may prioritize economic stability and gradual change, while progressives push for rapid transformation and government intervention. These ideological differences can lead to heated debates and hinder collaboration. The climate crisis requires a unified response, but political divides can make consensus difficult to achieve. This polarization is evident in policy discussions, where proposed measures are often met with resistance or skepticism. 6. The impact of social media. Social media platforms have become powerful tools for climate activists, allowing them to reach a global audience quickly. However, they also contribute to polarization by creating echo chambers where like-minded individuals reinforce each other's beliefs. This can lead to a lack of exposure to opposing viewpoints and a more entrenched stance on the issue. Additionally, misinformation can spread rapidly on social media, complicating efforts to build a shared understanding of the climate crisis. The challenge is to use these platforms to foster constructive dialogue rather than division. 7. The role of economic interests. Economic interests play a significant role in the climate debate. Industries that rely on fossil fuels, such as oil and gas, have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. These sectors often lobby against climate policies that threaten their profits, framing activists as extremists who want to destabilize the economy. On the other hand, the renewable energy sector presents opportunities for growth and innovation. The clash between these interests can influence public opinion and policy decisions, adding another layer of complexity to the debate. 8. Public perception and misconceptions. Public perception of climate activism is influenced by various factors, including personal beliefs, media representation, and exposure to different viewpoints. Misconceptions about the movement can arise from a lack of understanding of its goals and methods. For example, some may view activists as anti-progress or anti-capitalist, when in reality, they seek sustainable development and responsible resource management. Overcoming these misconceptions requires education and open dialogue to bridge the gap between different perspectives. 9. The importance of dialogue and understanding. To move forward, it's crucial to foster dialogue and understanding between different stakeholders. This means engaging with those who have opposing views and finding common ground. Climate change is an urgent issue that requires collective action, and polarization only hinders progress. By focusing on shared goals, such as preserving the planet for future generations, we can work towards effective solutions. It's important to recognize that while methods may differ, the underlying goal of a sustainable future is one we all share.